Christy, and I converted to Islam about 3 years ago.
Do you remember the day you became Muslim?
Yes, I remember the day I became Muslim. I went to Friday prayer, to a khutbah, and after that I went to ask the Imam a question about Islam because I've been doing research about Islam. And he answered my question, and then kind of the discussion went on and on and on, and it came to, so why aren't you Muslim if you believe this and this and this? Then what are you waiting for? So I ended up converting there. I took my shahada, and alhamdulillah.
So you didn't wake up that morning thinking I'm going to become a Muslim today.
Not at all.
You just said I have a couple questions to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did it surprise you when you went in for a khutbah to listen and you left as a Muslim?
Yes, I was very surprised, shocked, but when I look back on it, I'm really happy that I took the step because it is a big step that's really hard to decide. It's hard to wake up and say, today I'm going to convert, like this is it, I'm going to change my life. So I'm glad that I did take that step that day. I felt really good leaving, knowing that now I can take the next steps to becoming a better Muslim and learning prayer and learning fasting and all the next steps.
How long had you been researching Islam before you reverted that day?
That's a hard question. I learned little bits and pieces. I took a course at the university a few years ago, and it was, I guess, a few years before the point when I became Muslim. And it was about comparative religion, so I did touch on Islam there. And I felt that it was a really nice religion. I remember talking about it, but saying it's way too strict for me. It's for other people, but it's a beautiful religion. And at that point in my life, when I converted, I was looking for something. Like I did feel the need that I wanted to change my life. And so I took an Islamic course at the university with Jamal Badawi. And so there I was asking questions, I was learning so much about it. I started to surround myself with other Muslims, asking them lots of questions. And that was probably in the summer. I converted in November, I think, and it was around the summer that I really started asking questions, surrounding myself with Muslims, started going to the Friday khutbahs, and I guess it was only a few months before I took the step.
Tell me how your relationship with your mother has changed since you've embraced Islam.
Well, before I had not so close a relationship with my mom. Anything she would ask me to do, I would kind of get an attitude and think that I don't have to do anything for her, and just like any typical teenager, I guess. But then when I converted to Islam, or when I started looking into Islam, I learned that we're supposed to treat our mothers with respect, and she's the most important person to treat with respect. And you get a lot of reward for helping your mother, treating her well, and you just realize that how much she went through to raise you, and how you should do the same for her. You should help, I mean, not raise her, but you should help, like, take care of her, and I mean, nobody wants to be doing everything in the house alone. Like, before I wouldn't clean anything, I wouldn't cook anything, I was a terrible teenager, I guess, but now I really realize, like, hey, she's doing that by herself. That's terrible. Like, I should help her, and it's probably makes her feel so much better now that I'm helping, and it's made us a lot closer. It's brought us a lot closer. Now she's like one of my best friends, and she comes to events and everything. So alhamdulillah.
You told me a story about that your mother, one of her friends was interested, or she was having some doubts about her faith, and your mother had some advice for her. Can you explain to me about that?
Yeah. My mom's not Muslim, and she's not really at the point where she's looking to become Muslim, but she is reading a lot about Islam, and through her readings, I think she's become quite sympathetic to Islam and realizes the goodness that's in it. So when she was talking to one of her friends the other day, her friend had taken a Bible studies course. She's Christian and she wanted to learn more about her own religion. So after completing the course, she realized that in the Bible, I'm not sure because I didn't study Christianity, but this is just what she was saying, that in the Bible, the women aren't treated so well, or they're not presented to have many rights, or she didn't like the way that women were portrayed in the Bible, basically, and that was one of the reasons she stopped going to church after taking the Bible studies course, which should be the other way around, that when you study your religion, then you become more into the faith and have more faith. But my mom, her response to that was to recommend that she start reading the Quran. Even though my mom is not really reading the Quran, but when you read about Islam, like, it comes out. She pointed out that in the Quran, women are revered, respected. Islam gave women their rights. She had all this to say. So I was really surprised.
Since, you started your new journey in the faith, you've obviously gone through some changes. One of them being you're wearing the hijab. How has that been for you, and that change? And what have you experienced from other people that have seen you undergo that change, and maybe some comments they've made, questions, or even any sort of objections anybody's had, anything at all?
I started wearing the hijab about a year and a half ago, I think, and since I've been Muslim for 3 years, it was about a year and a half after I converted. And my friends, like, I didn't just put it on one day. I mean, first it was wearing looser clothing, then it was covering my arms and covering to here, and basically all that needed to finish was my head. So they were kind of prepared for it in that sense. And but they haven't really said too much about it. The only comments that I get are sometimes that I might look frumpy, or you could look better if you styled it this way, or things like that. But nobody's given me any real problems with it. And my mom as well, she's been quite supportive, and she called me a flying nun at first from a television show that I've never seen. And she'd make comments like, well, you could look better without it, or why are you wearing it? But she never gave me any real, any huge problem about it. And now even she's picking hijabs out for me, giving them to me. She's adjusting my hijab if it's showing my neck or something here. She'll fix it for me, which I think says a lot about how she supports me wearing it, even though she might not prefer that I wear it, but she is supporting me. So.
How does it make you feel now that you look back at both ways?
Well, it definitely protects you. I feel like my relationships, before I would mingle at the university and no problem, but now I'm really conscious of that, and I think other people are conscious of the fact that I'm wearing hijab, so when a guy approaches me, he won't approach me in the same way that he would have before, so I've definitely noticed a difference with that, which is the part of the point. I was worried how people would react to me about getting a job in the airport. I haven't had any problems. Alhamdulillah. Nobody said anything to me. My work reacted well. I was scared to ask them, can I pray? I was scared to put the hijab without asking them. I was scared what my coworkers would say. And I was so supported there, alhamdulillah. One of the people that I was worried about, she came to me the day that I wore it, and I didn't tell anyone that I was going to wear it, I just wore it. And she came, and she was like, I'm so proud of you, it looks so nice on you. And even my supervisor came and said, wow, it looks really nice on you. I had so much support, alhamdulillah.